What's up, guys? Here with an episode on Elevate Your Life podcast. Today we're talking about change. There's a lot of change going on in the world right now. It feels like every hour, every minute, something's changing. Everyone's on edge because they don't know what's happening next. The virus going around, Trump just came out today. He announced that all evictions and foreclosures are put on hold. He's announcing new things every single day that literally changes the outcome of people's lives every second of every day. And everyone's on edge. You don't know what you're going through. People are losing jobs. People are getting misplaced out of households. People are losing a lot of things in their life that they're very, very accustomed to. Most people are in a routine. They go through life day to day in a routine. They wake up, they eat breakfast, they drive to work, they go to work, they drive home from work, they go to the gym, they eat dinner, they go to sleep. And they do that every day of their life, their entire lives sometimes. But you can't ever get past something, get through something when you're stuck in a day-to-day routine every single day. One of the best things I ever did when I was younger, when I was 19 years old, I moved to Phoenix, Arizona. I moved away from everything I ever knew, and it was the best decision I ever made for my life because it changed me. Change is not a bad thing. You have to take change in stride because if used properly, it can change your life for the better. When I went to Phoenix, Arizona, I had zero routine left. I didn't wake up in the same bed. I didn't drive the same car. I didn't even wake up in the same state. It changed my entire perspective on life because everything in my life changed. And it was a benefit for me. It absolutely changed my life forever. So when I went there, I started playing basketball. I started going to a different school. I started eating differently. I was trying to put on more weight. I didn't have my family to come home and talk to every day. I couldn't go and hang out with my friends at night. I wasn't even in the same household where I could go and read a book on the couch that I normally read a book on. So everything for me changed. So I started going to a new gym. I started going to a new school. I journaled on top of my three-story townhome condominium and just started journaling. I never journaled in my life. I never read a book in my life. I hated reading books in high school, hated it. I'll be the one to find, cheat codes and shortcuts. And I don't even remember the website, but there was a website at school where you could get like a summary of a book on like 5 pages instead of 100 pages. I did that every time I could. So I absolutely hated reading in every way that's fashionable. But I went to Phoenix and I was playing basketball. I was a ball player back then, not no more. But I fell out of love with the game. I started hating real estate to a point where I never wanted to touch a basketball again. And I was lost. I didn't know what to do. But thankfully, I don't know why I chose to start reading books, but reading books absolutely 1000% changed my life. I read a book when I was 19 called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Changed the outlook on my life. And it talks about change, and it talks about believing in yourself, and it talks about manifesting what you can have in your life and becoming the person that you want to become and knowing and creating money in your life. None of those things ever would have happened if I didn't move out there, because I would have stayed here in Columbus, hanging out with the same friends, going to the same basketball games, going to the same nightclubs, and I would have been in my routine forever. But when I moved, it absolutely changed my life because I had to change everything about it. Everything that I knew changed, but it was for the benefit. Think about it. These past, I don't know, for me, it's been about 5 days. We've been, in essence, quarantined. All the bars closed, all the nightclubs closed, all the restaurants closed, the gyms closed, everything closed. So your daily routine completely changed, and you have to change the way of your lifestyle. So my question to you is, what are you doing? Are you at home watching Netflix? Are you at home playing video games? What are you doing? What have you done these past 5 days? Again, change is happening. It's very real. Everything in this life, in this world is changing right now. But what are you doing with that? If you're the type to go home and sit on a couch and play video games and watch Netflix all day, there's no point in that. You're not changing anything for the better. There's zero benefit to that whatsoever. All you're doing is you're going to get fatter because you're going to eat a lot of snacks because everybody bought everything you can buy in the grocery store. So you got a whole bunch of junk food at home. So there's nothing you're doing to better your life except watching TV and getting fatter. Nobody wants to do that. If you ask me what I've done these past 5 days, I've created an entirely new real estate product, how to wholesale. I record hours and hours of videos on how to start wholesaling. I created that. I'm learning about the stock market. I just dumped a bunch of money into the stock market because I've taken the time and I've been up till midnight, 2 a.m. learning the skills of a stock market. I've looked into an Amazon automation store because, again, the world is changing around us. There's been massive amounts of layoffs from all sorts of companies. So how can I put myself in the best position possible to change it for the better once everything settles down? Where are the opportunities going to be? Amazon automation is, everyone's ordering from Amazon right now. It's the only place you can order things from. So Amazon's a phenomenal opportunity. I've been studying on that. I might be starting an Amazon store. I've been reading books. I've been journaling. I've been working out. I've done, what else have I done? I'm building out funnels right now. Again, everybody's going online. So you got to think, what are the opportunities here? The opportunities are people are literally on their phones, sitting on their couch all day, every day. My views on you got to pay attention to data points. My views on my Instagram stories have gone up 20 to 30% because there's more people sitting at home watching Instagram. They don't have anything else to do. They're not going to work. They're not going to hang out. They're not going to the gym. They're sitting at home, sitting on their phone. So if people are on their phones, how do you get in front of those people? How do you create money from that? So for me, it's creating a funnel, creating products, creating free giveaways, creating a wholesaling course, creating things to get in front of people on social media, and then creating a funnel to tie those things together. So that's something I've been building out. I'm really going heavy on it. I'm building out an entire new CRM for one of my companies. So all these things are changes. All these things are things I'm going through during a massive, huge change to the entire world right now that literally nobody knows the outcome of what's going to happen. Nobody has any idea. Like, there's a lot of people making predictions, saying that, this is just going to be a week. After a week, everything will be back to normal. Or, this is only going to be a month. After a month, everything's going to be back to normal. Or, this is going to last till June or July, 3-4 months, and then everything's good to go after that. And there's some people saying that, like, this is like a new world order type of thing. Nobody knows what's going on. The only thing that we know is that it's changing, literally changing every single day of our lives. You wake up, people aren't in fear right now. When change comes, fear comes. Like, if you go to gun stores right now, the lines for the gun stores are like hundreds of people long. There's no guns left in any of the stores. There's no bullets left in any of the stores. All of this change is freaking people out. But my question is, and what I'll continue to ask is, who's doing the things to put themselves in a better position when all of this gets back to, as close to normal as it can, get back to? I think, first of all, the world has changed forever. There's no way we're going to get back to exactly what we were before. There's too many things that have happened. People are realizing that they can work from home. People are realizing that they don't have to go into Best Buy and buy a TV. People are realizing they can order it directly from Amazon. People are realizing they need other streams of income besides a paycheck because they're getting laid off from work. The world is 1,000% changed, and there's no going back to normal right now. There is no such thing as normal. So that when I say we're going to get back to the closest thing, people will go back to work. Some people will start shopping at the mall again. But it changed the way that we think about things and the way that we do things. The biggest change that I think is going to come from this, and I think this is the craziest change of them all. People that go to school a traditional school, college, are realizing that they don't necessarily need to go to school and sit in a brick and mortar and go into debt to get an education when they're literally at home right now and those teachers are teaching them through Zoom calls because they've shut schools down. Think about that. You go to school, you pay for it, college, and now they're sending you home and they close the school, but they're still teaching you through a Zoom call. People are realizing they don't need to necessarily go into a school. You need to learn. Education is a massive part of life. Education starts after the traditional school system, after high school, after college. That's when the real education starts. We'll get into that in a second. But education is huge, but people are realizing that they can get educated outside of the normal school system. I've sold a lot of my real estate courses, how to raise private money, how to start wholesaling. I've sold a lot of those courses this past week, more courses than I've ever sold before, because People want to learn at a faster rate, especially now because there's nothing else to do. So people are starting to realize that school is not the only option to learn. I think that's going to be the biggest change in them all. But there's no going back to normal, no matter what it is. So what are you doing right now, here today, over these next few days, over these next few weeks, when we're in quarantine, to change your life for the better forever? That's the question I want to ask you. What are you doing today to change your life for the better? Again, change can go positive or negative. There's no really in between. So you have to make the decision, is if you're going to change for the better and you're going to learn new things, or if you're going to change for worse. Businesses might open back up in a month. Let's say this passes over in a month, everything goes back to normal. Businesses open back up, but the sales have been down for so long and people have missed out on so much money, they don't need you anymore. They don't bring you back to work. They told you, I'm laying you off for a couple weeks until things get back, and then we'll bring you back on. What if they don't need you? Like, for real, think about that. Like, what are you going to do in your life if you don't have a job to go back to? What are you doing? And you just wasted 1, 2, 3 weeks of your life not learning a new skill when all you had was time to sit at home and learn a new skill. So I challenge you, go out there and find something new to learn to change your life for the better. Those are the things that I've been doing in my life. But this should bring a ton of clarity to your life. All this time, if you've never journaled, or if you have journaled, you should be journaling a lot. Journaling brings clarity to your life. My journal is getting filled up every single day because I'm sitting at home. I'm not going out to eat at dinner. I'm not going out to get a drink with a friend. Take this time to journal. If you have not ever journaled in your life, it doesn't even have to be in a journal. Pick up a white piece of paper and just start writing down your thoughts. Write down your thoughts on I get a lot of questions. Well, what do you journal on? Whatever's in your mind, what you're grateful for, what you're going to learn during these new times to change your life for the better. I journal about business a lot. So a business that I think of, I'll journal on how to make it bigger, who to hire, who to fire, what new avenues we should go into, what new products I should create. So a lot of my journaling is journaling on my business, but a lot of it's personal. It's asking myself what I'm grateful for. It's writing a letter to myself 10 years from now, what I want to change and who I want to be 10 years from now and how I get there. So take this time to spend some time journaling so you can get clarity on your own life and you can know where you want to go. I wasn't around during the last recession. I wasn't. So again, nobody knows where this is going right now. Nobody knows if you should invest. Nobody knows if you should, buy real estate. Nobody knows if you should learn a new skill. Nobody knows what's going on right now. And this change, it's all change. The only thing that you can do is prepare yourself. That's the only thing it comes down for. Like I'm taking every preparation so I can be prepared for anything that happens over these next few weeks. And if I don't need some of them, great. Move right on, throw it to the side and keep pushing. But if I do need those things, if you need those things, you need to be prepared. And I think the biggest takeaway from these times, these next couple weeks, you'll be looking at yourself in the mirror 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months from now, and you'll be looking at yourself, asking yourself why you did not do what you should have been doing. This crash, everyone's talking about losing money. Money doesn't just dissipate. It doesn't just disappear. Money is going to somewhere in these times. Somebody's getting filthy, filthy rich right now. No questions asked. All these people are going broke, losing paychecks. That money is going somewhere. You have to understand that money does not disappear. That money is going to somebody. And what are you going to do during these next few weeks to put yourself in a position where you can be the one collecting that money? What are you going to do? It's a serious question. What do you do to put yourself in a position? I already told you what I think. I think Amazon's booming. I think online's booming. I think online education will boom. I think these are all changes that are happening right before our eyes. And what are you doing to put yourself in a position to take advantage of it? The stock market's crashing like crazy. It's going to come back up at some point. So learn those things. Learn those skills so you're not sitting, in your couch a year from now regretting that you didn't take advantage of this opportunity. This is the opportunity, my only lifetime. This is the first time I've had an opportunity like this. You know, others in 2001 and 2008, during the other crashes, billionaires with a B, billionaires were made. A lot of people went bankrupt. A lot of people lost a lot of money, but a lot of multi-millionaires and a lot of billionaires were made during those times. And this is one of those opportunities. How do you go from making, 50 grand a year to 100 grand or $1 million a year? How do you go from making $1 million a year to $10 million a year? How do you go from making 10 mil to 100 mil? How do you go from making 100 mil to $1 billion? There's people that are asking themselves these questions right now. I promise you there are. When I talk to the successful people that are in my circle, everybody's asking themselves how to grow, how to scale, how to take advantage of this opportunity. There is nobody in my circle that's sitting at home watching TV. Not one of them. Not one is not taking advantage of this opportunity. Every single person knows that this is an opportunity. People listen to the news too much. The news is just fear. It scares you into a corner in your house. You don't want to leave. You don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to learn anything. And all you're doing is watching the news. The news will scare you, will turn to fear. The news will not do anything good for you. It's good to know what's going on at times and what Trump is releasing. It's great to know that. But you don't got to watch it literally the entire day. You don't. It doesn't do anything for you. It puts you in a fear mindset. You need to be asking yourselves the right question and how you can take advantage of this opportunity and change your life forever. So my question to you is, out of all this fear, out of all this change, literally people's lives are being changed right now, tremendously changed. When all of this is going on, what are the opportunities that you can take advantage of that can change your life from the better? When this thing goes to buy, when this thing passes, where are you going to be able to stand? Where are you going to have your successes at? And are you going to be able to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you did everything in your power to make this a success? We'll see you on the next episode.